some of the changes that are not inexpensive to make but will affect that guest experience enough that it's worth it at this stage to really make it right and make it comfortable.
We're in our preview center, $1 million temporary building. We thought, what better place to create a preview center and show our premium seat products than right above the job site on this garage that was always step one of this project. So our primary tenant will be the Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo. Their rodeo performances will move from the iconic Will Rogers Memorial Center over to Dickies Arena beginning in January of 2020. They're a 501c3. They've been around for over 100 years and had rodeo performances for over 100 years. We consider them our anchor tenant in the facilities. We wanted to make sure we weren't building a glass building, that it fit in with the cultural district and that it fit in with the campus. Now, a lot of the architecture with this building was very important to be inclusive of the Will Rogers complex. This is our north entrance. We look at this as our formal front door. So as you come over here, this plaza down below during the Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo, this building was designed that this area would house all the livestock animals and everything else. Well, when I came in here about 3.5 years ago, I said, that's great. What am I going to do with it the other 11 months out of the year? So we actually went in and we started programming the space. We conditioned the space, added electrical data wire. So now we created a 100,000 square feet exhibit hall. It's got a lot of columns underneath it, but it's all set up in actually 10 by 10 space so that we can do booths just like you would in the exhibit areas. We added an operable wall so we can use it like a junior ballroom space. And now we'll have a sound system in there as well so we can do some dance competitions, some corporate events. And we felt like that was good space for us to have. Fort Worth itself is the 13th largest city in the United States, growing at a faster capacity than any other top 20 city. So what we're looking to do is reinvent, bring back sports and entertainment into Fort Worth. This staircase is what we call a heap cut stair. It's one of the great architectural features in the building. Actually, Beck, our general contractor, told us it was probably the most difficult staircase that they've ever built. The design on the exterior is very important. The design on the interior goes to even another level. As you look in, you see these little dividers in here. Those are all rodeo boxes, which are historically very important here in Fort Worth. We expanded the rodeo boxes of what they have over at Will Rogers into the new Dickies Arena by increasing that by about 62. We also increased the size, so we have more seats down there. Those rodeo boxes are that person's season ticket for all the rodeo performances. And then what we did is we added that as a club seat package as well, give them the first right of refusal to buy those seats throughout the rest of the year. Everyone's got nice seats. It's the same seats that we have throughout the rest of the general concourses of the arena. Everyone's got a cup holder, no more bars to climb in, no more folding chairs. It's a little bit of an upgrade versus Will Rogers.
We are a non-traditional arena. Those rodeo boxes and our guests that are seated there, some of our most high profile, some of our most passionate, both in the city of Fort Worth and about that rodeo experience. And so we want to make sure we can get that food and beverage element to them. We have to consider the dirt and the horses and the fact that you are feet from what's going on there, and that element coming into your food and beverage experience could be a reality.
We are actually the only arena currently being built in North America that has over 5,000 seats in its entire lower bowl on what we call a variable rise seating platform, which means the seats can come in and out and go up and down to different levels. The reason we have so many seats is because when we're not in rodeo configuration, all these rodeo boxes go away. It becomes like a standard arena seating, and you have one continuous seating section from the lower bowl all the way down to the arena.
So we are designed with 2 clubs. One of them is your traditional white tablecloth fine dining restaurant that has a gorgeous bar that has a large viewing space that actually looks out into the arena bowl.
From there up is our South Club. It's a 2-tiered club that we have in the arena. Below that is what you see is our president's and chairman's box. We'll have 32 loge boxes, 8 on the south, and then 24 loge boxes on the north. The reason there's fewer on the south is because the north will be opposite of a stage end. So all of our loge boxes are all 4, 5, and 6 seat loge boxes here. As you can see, we're testing out different types of chairs.
It's amazing to see the various players that get involved, with with tape measures and suits and coming in and really looking at it and selecting from a group of people around the room. You might be my smallest woman. Could you come here and sit? Tell me how comfortable this feels. You're my tallest gentleman. Come sit in this seat. How does this feel? Do you feel if this is too close or too small? And some of the changes that are not inexpensive to make but will affect that guest experience enough that it's worth it at this stage to really make it right and make it comfortable.
This was actually a lot smaller. We brought it out about 8 inches because we felt like, we had a guy come in, sit down and say, well, I can't put my full plate of nachos in there. And literally, that's what he said. And our chairman said, well, we need to make that a little bit bigger then.
The idea of the loge box really being that semi-private, just smaller, almost suite setting, and the fact that they are in those pods, so there's a little more of that community feel, but at the same time, you always want to be able to not have individual guests, if you're only going to be 4 or 6 people, have to order individually. You'd like to be able to still give them that experience similar to what you'd see in the suite, but you might not have 18 guests that day.
We'll have 40 suites in the arena from baseline to baseline. 36 of them will be sold on contractual basis, and then we'll have 4 party suites that will sell on individual event by event basis. People will pay that higher price for that food and beverage, but they want the quality service.
The table for your drink and your food product gives you just a little bit more comfort, a little bit less of eating in your lap, a little bit more of dining. So the way that the design elements took the comfort of the guest into consideration was a natural to give us an amazing platform to service our guests from a food and beverage standpoint. No reason for us not to be able to service you that option of 1 server for every 2 suites, really because we want to make sure that you've got plenty of attention, but also a lot of opportunity to feel like you're not being smothered by our staff. We want to make sure those options are always available depending on who's in the suite, what they're looking for. We've given them all choices.
There's 3 bonds that help the city pay back those that debt. It does not go against the city's debt service, any general debt of the city. So those 3 bonds are a parking tax, a ticket tax, and a horse stall tax on this whole campus once this arena opens up. It was a public-private partnership with the city of Fort Worth. And the private side came back and said, we're making this financial contribution to this project because at the end of this, the city will own this arena. They said, we don't want to let this arena be run by the city and be run as other city facilities would be run. So we're going to create another not-for-profit entity, and that's Trail Drive Management Corp., which I'm the president and general manager of. The unique thing about that is Trail Drive Management Corp. Opens up with little to no debt on the arena, and any net revenues that we make at the end of the year can only be done with 3 things. 1, put into a reserve account, capital improvement or capital maintenance account, and then the third is that we can also reinvest back into the city's assets here on the Will Rogers campus. So really, the city has now created this product that anything it makes at the end of the day just reinvest back into its own facilities. Truly remarkable, where you don't see that in any other arena in the United States. As we continue to sell, we're about 10 months out from opening the arena. We're sold out of our suites. We're sold out of our rodeo boxes. We have a few loge boxes left, and now it's on to club seats. A lot of people consider this a legacy project in this town for them. We all consider this a legacy project for ourselves as well, because we got to come in and really put our thumbprint on it, start to make changes to make sure that this building is operationally set up for long-term success.